gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, we made it through another week, fam. All praises on that thing, and we getting ready to get into another one, right? Hope your week was everything you wanted to be, and your weekend it was restful. You got time to spend with the family and everything. And we're gonna get into tonight's show. Tonight's show, we talking about um. Let's see here. The newfound video on Qadir and Nazir Lewis. Okay, so it's a new video that surfaced and what have you, and it kind of ticks me off on what it supports. Okay, so we're gonna get into that, and also we got we're gonna talk about let's see here, we got London Thomas. We got some updates on London Thomas, the 17-year-old that was deleted about a week and a half ago, and what have you. So we have some developments going on in that. Ty Nicholas, the proceedings in that case has begun, and we're gonna take a dive into that. And we got some wild stuff going on in Detroit. Oh, and New York. New York. We got men getting SA'd on the train. What's it called, at the subway, and teens getting found in strip clubs. So we got a lot to unpack tonight. Okay, we got that, the hot video. Also, we got this week's tidbit in health. Okay, so we're gonna get into that as well. So we got a lot to unpack. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it.
You are now listening to some old school shit.
back, welcome back, welcome back. So yeah, we got a lot to unpack. So we might as well jump right into it. Jump right into it. Before we do that, you know what I gotta do? I gotta get my music going. Gotta get the tunes going in the background. Let's see here. I gotta get the tunes, get the tunes, get the tunes. Give me a moment, folks. Boy, I tell you, when it rains, it pours. I tell you, every time. It be the little nuances in the programming. So let's get this video queued up. Fox, local 5. All right, here we go, fam.
Family members say store surveillance videos left them with more questions than answers nearly 2 months after their loved one. Twin teenagers were found dead in the North Georgia mountains.
Authorities ruled Qadir and Nazir Lewis deaths a murder-suicide. Both teens had suffered gunshot wounds, but their loved ones suspect foul play. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at a gas station in Lawrenceville. Deidre, you spoke with the teens' family this afternoon. What did they have to say?
That's right. Family members telling me that both teens were in college and were doing well. Now, they did share that the teen's mother, GBI, showed her video of the teens here at this gas station the night before their bodies were found some 90 miles away. Now, the teens are seen entering and exiting the store. Nothing seemed amiss.
It feels like torture every single day of not knowing what happened to them.
The teens' aunts and other family members are desperate for answers. Nearly 2 months after the bodies of brothers Qadir and Nazir Lewis were discovered in the North Georgia mountains some 90 miles from home.
Someone has to know something.
Samira and Sabria Bronner say GBI investigators showed the teen's mother surveillance video, which showed the 19-year-old twins at this Shell gas station on Hurricane Shoals Road in Lawrenceville at around 10 the night of March 7th. A hiker discovered their bodies at around 11 the next morning atop Bell Mountain in Towns County, about 2 hours from their Gwinnett County residence. Authorities said a preliminary investigation revealed the deaths were a murder-suicide. Grieving family members suspect the teens were victims of foul play.
I know that something happened to them. I know that they were murdered.
Loved ones say the surveillance video showed the teens going in and out of the convenience store. Nothing seemed amiss.
To know that they was alive, I'm like, what happened from right there? How did it end up out in the mountains?
The teens' aunts tell Fox 5 they were scheduled to fly to Boston the morning of March 7th to visit friends, but missed their flight. Their airline tickets were still in their wallets when their bodies were discovered the next day. Loved ones say the teens had never visited the area where they were found and urge anyone with information in the case to come forward.
We need closure. We want to know what happened to them. And whoever did that to them, you know, they need to be prosecuted.
Now, we did reach out to the GBI today, officials telling us that they are awaiting forensic test results as part of this ongoing investigation. Anyone with information is urged to contact the GBI.
Members say store surveillance videos left them with more questions than answers nearly 2 months after their loved one. Twin teenagers were found dead in the North Georgia mountains.
Authorities ruled Qadir and Nazir Lewis deaths a murder-suicide. Both teens had suffered gunshot wounds, but their loved ones suspect foul play. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at a gas station in Lawrenceville. Deidre, you spoke with the teens' family this afternoon. What did they have to say?
That's right. Family members telling me that both teens were in college and were doing well. Now, they did share that the teen's mother, GBI, showed her video of the teens here at this gas station the night before their bodies were found some 90 miles away. Now, the teens are seen entering and exiting the store. Nothing seemed amiss.
So I just wanted to go back and rehear that again and what have you. So the boys are 90 miles away at this Shell's gas station. The night before, and nothing seems amiss. So they go in. According to the video, nothing's no weird behaviors or anything. They didn't come in with, or at least they didn't express that they came in with a third party and what have you. So, and the reason why I had mentioned that this new video that surfaced troubles me is because it makes the initial hypothesis that this was a murder-suicide. It strengthens that notion and what have you. And based on what the family is saying, there wasn't any signs that they recognized. And now I have to say that they paid attention to and what have you. So then you had, and remember, you had this volunteer firefighter who had pictures of these boys. So what happened to that part of the story and what have you? So now that I'm thinking about it, it appears like these two young men had alternative plans before they went to Boston. Some plans that they didn't tell mom about. Before they dipped to Boston. Or they never planned on going to Boston. Now, something just dawned in my head. I believe my son he'll be 30 this year. So he had to be 28. Probably, yeah. Around, like, it was after he turned 28. And him and his fiance took a trip to Boston, and I asked him to put his location on. And he did so. And the minute he got back in town, he turned it off, but he respected my wishes. So if you have children traveling, my Mrs. O, her daughter and one of her sons, the baby boy, who's 26 years old, they keep their location on, so she knows where they're at all times. And these children are grown, of adult age, over 25. Okay, so I know some of us, maybe most of us, don't have that type of relationship or have that type of dynamic where the kids are willing to do so, or what have you. If you do, you all praises on that thing. But these young men, they just came out of high school, so they're still 17, 18 years of age. Children of that age and especially younger and what have you, and if they leave off and go to college, especially their first couple of years, and hopefully they'll still oblige into their junior and senior year, you might want to request that they put their locations on and keep them on. So the technology is available, is readily available. Everybody, and literally everybody and their mama. Everybody has a cell phone, and just about most of us have cell phones that give our location. So use those tools, okay, to monitor where your loved ones are at. Okay, that's omni-important and what have you. And obviously, based on what's going on, that these young men did not have their locations turned on. And based on what I'm looking at right now and how the story is unfolding, it appears that these young men had alternative plans. Either it was a detour or they never had intentions on going to Boston. But they most definitely had a detour in their plans. They ended up in a sundown town, and things went south for them. That's what I'm starting to lean towards. So hopefully they can come to the conclusion and find out what happened, and they can get some closure sooner than later. Let's check out what's going on in the chat. Mrs. O says, modern day lynching postcards. So they used to make postcards of us and what have you. Let me see if I can pull that up. Postcards like this one often show smiling white people posing near a black body, often charred after a lynching. Take a look at this postcard, people. You have older people. Middle-aged people. And young people, very young children. She looks like she might be in her 12, 13, maybe 14 right up in here. And maybe this one right here as well. I bring up that observation because these older people had children who had children, and these young people you see here, they had children and passed down that same ideology, that racist thinking. And so Mrs. O brought up the comment, modern day lynching postcards. They might not do it in, well, they said that the volunteer firefighter was passing around pictures. So, sending each other pictures through text is the new postcard. It's the new postcard. Now we're going to get into the story about London Thomas. We got new developments going on in the NAC, going on with that. So let's check that out. Give me a moment to take care of the owner of this video before we continue. WXYZ TV Detroit, Channel 7. All right, we got that taken care of. We can go ahead and get into the video. Let's go.
Please be seated.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Do we need a minute or are we ready to go?
I think we're ready.
All right, let's do it.
We have a prosecutor or no?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, just want to make sure everybody can hear everybody. We're on the record in case number 25-1068 FY People versus Charlotte Pendergrass.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have written 75788 on prosecution.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Terry Johnson, P70773, on behalf of Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, who is present and seated in the jury box.
All right. With regard to the charges, counsel, do you on the record what the charges are?
I have not seen them, Your Honor, and if the court would like, I can approach and glance at them, or whatever the court's pleasure is.
I'll read.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's alleged between the dates of April 5th, 2025 and April 24th, 2025 in the city of Inkster in count one, that the defendant is being charged with one count of lying to a police officer in a violent crime investigation. It's alleged that after being informed by Agent Christopher Steigel, Federal Bureau of Investigation, that the officer was conducting a criminal investigation, that the defendant did knowingly and willfully make a statement or statements to the office that she knew were false or misleading regarding the following material fact or facts relating to the investigation that London Thomas left 27262 Carlisle, Inkster, Michigan at 7 a.m. on April 5th, 2025 on foot through the front door, alive and well. And the officer was conducting a criminal investigation for kidnapping/homicide. That's a felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison and or a $5,000 fine. That concludes the reading of the charges.
Thank you, Your Honor. With that being said, we will enter a plea of not guilty before this honorable court.
All right, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of the defendant. As to bond.
Your Honor, my client is a lifelong resident, actually, of Wayne County, born and raised here in the city of Inkster. She is not a flight risk. Her family still lives here. Her grandmother and grandfather, who are residents of the city of Inkster, we'd be asking for some type of personal bond in this matter, Your Honor, with the standard conditions.
All right. On behalf of the people?
On behalf of the people, Your Honor, the people would be seeking a high cash bond with a GPS header. We would be requesting no contact with the London Thomas's family nor any other witnesses in the kidnapping and or homicide investigation into the death of London Thomas. We would also be asking if the defendant has a passport, we surrender that passport to the investigating authorities. Your Honor, with regard to the residency as outlined by defense counsel, Ms. Pendergrass has had an address outside of Wayne County in the city of Clawson since 2001. Regarding her being a flight risk, the people are concerned about flight, which is why we're asking for a tether. Ms. Pendergrass was set to turn herself into authorities late last week. Instead of going to the police station, she stopped the car that she was in, got out, and attempted to flee the area on foot. She was then later apprehended by police. Earlier today, we were in front of Judge Knapp with regard to a motion that Mr. Johnson had filed. Mr. Johnson indicated to the court that Ms. Pendergrass would not return to the Carlisle address in the city of Inkster, that she would be going to a different address in a different city. Specifically, she would not return to that Carlisle address because of some concerns with regard to the health and safety of her father. She was in fact apprehended at that house that she said she would not be at, where she went directly from where she was released earlier today. People have a concern for flight, and with regard to the high cash bond, people are asking for a high cash bond. Ms. Pendergrass has access to multiple properties, multiple vehicles. She also is, to my understanding, has access to a large family trust. So people are concerned, again, with flight with regard to her financial situation. And then also with regard to the high cash bond, we're asking for that due to likelihood of conviction being quite high. Ms. Pendergrass was interviewed, Mirandized, said what she said, and the people have very strong evidence from phone records, video, that Ms. Pendergrass did in fact lie to the police during this investigation.
All right.
Your Honor, just to clear one thing up, some of this is very insincere in terms of the fact of, yes, I did make a statement to the court earlier today that Judge Knapp, that Ms. Pendergrass would not return to the address on Carlisle. However, I was unaware at the time that Ms. Pendergrass had already been released from custody here in the city of Inkster. I had no communication with her. When I finally had communication with her, I said, you need to go to this address. So to say that she knew not to go there at that point, she was just released, she walked, and that's where she walked to at that point. So that's very insincere.
Is she working? Does she have a job? Does she?
Yes, I'm the caretaker for my, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm a caretaker for my grandparents that need 24-hour care. Jalen and I are helping them along with a few different caregivers.
Okay. So that's your primary employment?
Yes.
And again, Your Honor.
My grandfather can't walk, and my grandmother is very sick, so.
All right.
And Your Honor, this is a 4-year felony, and if they have, other charges or other things that they're worried about, again, as the court is aware, I did file a writ because of the people's actions of detaining my client all this time, and they still haven't come up with anything but this one charge. And if they have something, they're free to come back and charge, but just to hold her on a possibility there may be something else, that I don't think that's fair to my client, especially after being in custody for in excess of 120-something hours.
All right. And Ms. Merrigan, this is an ongoing investigation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court does take note of her lifelong contact with both the city and the county. I do have concerns with regard to her being a flight risk, as well as the strength of the case. The court did swear out the warrant and heard additional facts, and so the court has those concerns. And for those reasons, the court will set a bond of $50,000 cash, surety, GPS tether, if released. No contact of any kind with any witnesses. She's to surrender a passport if she has one. She may not leave the state of Michigan without permission of this court. She may not be in possession of any weapons or ammunition. And she's going to be living at in another city if she's released?
Yes, Your Honor, and that I have provided that address to the people as well as the detective from Michigan State Police.
All right.
I can provide it to the court if the court would like off the record.
No, as long as the parties that need it have it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else for the record?
Your Honor, PCC.
We're going to do that. I guess I was asking Ms. Merrigan, did I impose the conditions that you requested?
Yes.
Okay, because you mentioned there was some concern about contact with witnesses?
Yes.
Okay.
And the court did order no contact with anyone.
Because I didn't name a party, so I'm going to just leave it at witnesses. So, counsel, are you available to return for probable cause conference next Wednesday?
One moment, Your Honor. That'd be in the morning, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. Wednesday, Wednesday, May 7th.
May 7th, we'll see all parties back 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your
That
Honor.
concludes this matter. Thank you all.
You and your staff have a great day, Your
You
Honor.
too. Yes.
I wanted to get the name Charlotte Pendergrass. Do something real quick. Well, it's Charla, not Charlotte. Charla. Charlotte Rashida Pendergrass, 48 from Clawson. Allegedly lied to the FBI in connection to London Thomas case. Thomas was last seen April 5th. And then we got this part of the story right here. Clawson woman charged with lying to police. Let's check this.
Now with the very latest, Scott.
Check this out.
Hi, Taryn. Yeah, this is a really big deal for London's family who, have basically been hearing radio silence from investigators since London's body was found last Saturday. Now, 48-year-old Charla Pendergrass of Inkster has been charged with lying to a peace officer. The other person of interest has been released for now, but investigators still consider them a person of interest. Take a listen to what London's grandmother had to say.
It's been miserable, heartbroken, not eating, not sleeping. It's just heartbroken. I'll never get my baby back.
No murder charges in the case of 17-year-old London Thomas, who was found dead April 26th. But in connection, 48-year-old Charla Pendergrass has been charged with lying to a peace officer, a felony carrying up to 4 years in prison.
I think she got something to do with it. I want justice for my granddaughter. I want her to go to jail for murder. I want justice for my granddaughter.
Charlotte Pendergrass is one of 2 suspects police originally had in custody. State police confirm the other suspect, who has not been charged, has been released and is still considered a suspect.
They trying to lie and had and scheme for each other. I want justice. I want both of them. Life for life. Do some time. 4 years ain't enough.
What we know about Charlotte Pendergrass, she's connected with a home on Carlisle Street in Inkster, the same street London Thomas was last seen on April 5th when visiting her boyfriend. London's grandma says shortly after London's disappearance, she confronted Charlotte Pendergrass.
I talked to the lady, and she told me my granddaughter had left. I knew she was lying.
When was that?
When we was looking for money. And she was sitting in the car like she was talking to somebody and didn't want nobody in the house to know what she was saying.
So, Charlotte Pendergrass, I haven't heard it yet said, but it just says that she's connected to that house in Inkster. Okay, she is not saying that she's the mother of the boyfriend I haven't heard any relation to the boyfriend. But she's connected to that residence.
And when she said she walked off, I knew she was lying.
Pendergrass's bond was set at $50,000 cash surety. If she does post that bond, she'll have to wear a GPS tether, cannot have any contact with anybody involved in this investigation, witness, victim, anything like that. As to what exactly she lied about to peace officers, they're keeping that pretty close to the vest. Not a lot of detail on that, but we will keep you updated on the very latest. For now, reporting live in Inkster, Scott Walczak, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, people might find this interesting how this case is progressing, but it sounds like police are still gathering evidence so they make sure that they have a really solid case. But still, are we hearing any circumstances around why London Thomas may have been killed or any sort of a motive possibly at this point?
At this point, it's definitely too early to tell on that, Taryn, but you're right in the sense where we're seeing a lot from investigators. Think about it. At first, it was Inkster Police, DPD, now state police in charge of the investigation, and the FBI are involved. We know for a fact that Charlotte Pendergrass and this other suspect have been in custody.
Now, tell me if I'm incorrect on this, but typically the FBI don't get involved unless you cross state lines in a kidnapping case or what have you. So I'm a little confused on what prompted what got the FBI in on this, but the more the merrier.
A few different times and released a few different times. So they're really working on this investigation. What does this lying to peace officer charge have to do with anything? Well, it could be a reason as to why this investigation has been hung up a little bit.
Yes, who maybe she was covering for. We'll just have to wait and see. Thanks.
Okay, now we're gonna go over this one. This part says the boyfriend of London Thomas arrested in unrelated case.
Now to the arrest of the boyfriend of London.
This is gonna go pretty quick, so let me get the owner thing under situated. 1 second. ABC Channel 7.
Now to the arrest of the boyfriend of London Thomas. The 17-year-old was found dead last weekend, 3 weeks after she went missing. Her 23-year-old boyfriend arrested today, not in connection with London's death, but on a charge of lying to police a year ago. Just yesterday, the boyfriend's mother, Charlotte Pendergrass, arrested in.
So now we have it. Charlotte Pendergrass. It says the boyfriend's mother. So she is the mother of the boyfriend.
Charged for lying to police during the investigation of London Thomas's death. The family's attorney says police are making arrests for a case they're not prepared to bring to court.
If you go back to even yesterday, think about this. Your cameras here at Channel 7 were the only ones out front when Charlotte Pendergrass was arrested. And when have you ever seen, again, they did the perp walk. Normal protocol is, you know, you take somebody through the Sally Port. They want to do everything they can to destroy the reputation of my clients to make their case, a case which they do not have.
We asked if the family's attorney has been presented any evidence that the mother or son are tied to London's death. He says he has not seen that.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of twists, a lot of twists, a lot of twists. Miss O had it already. She said she's the mother of the guy in question, of the boyfriend, or one of the reports label him as the ex-boyfriend or what have you. Mrs. O says he was too old for her. I don't understand how parents allow such a thing. 23 and 17. We went over this last week, last Sunday, and what have you. So the London parents failed her in this regard, and indications say that she was something to deal with. Something to deal with. Obviously, she had too much freedom and not enough oversight. So we'll stay on top of this story as it unfolds, and bring it to you. As much as it unfolds, and see where it goes from here. At this point, I'm not able to connect any dots yet, like I did with the twins or what have you. The fact that with Miss it wasn't Charlotte, it was another name. The closed caption keeps calling her Charlotte. It was something else. Charlotte Pendergrass. So I lost my thought. But we'll stay on top of this. Let's check out the chat. We got somebody dropping in. Wallace is in the house. What's going on, Wallace? Welcome to the show. Next up in the lineup, we got some updates going on with Tyree Nicholas. Let me get this together right quick for you. Check it out. Let me get the Action 5 news. Got to get the owners of the material together. One moment here. Let me go ahead and put this up. Action News 5.
The jury in the state murder trial for 3 former MPD officers charged in the beating death of Tyre Nichols heard testimony from a Memphis firefighter and EMT today. He was one of the last people who spoke to Nichols before he got to the hospital. Action News 5's Jerry Askin joining us live now with who else testified. Jerry, good evening.
Hey, Joy, good evening. So far, the defense has called 9 people to testify, 7 just today, including experts and character witnesses. And right now, we're all waiting and watching to see if those former officers on trial here will testify in their own defense. Now, we do have video to show you right now. Former EMT Robert Long told the jury that he talked to Tyre Nichols when he responded to the scene that night. He said Tyre said he had alcohol that evening, but would not confirm or deny if he had taken drugs. Long said he had to call for a paramedic because he knew Tyre needed more help, even though at the time he was conscious and able to speak. Now, former officer Justin Smith's attorney, Martin Zubach, said Smith asked paramedics on scene multiple times if Tyre was okay and even called dispatch for medical help. He questioned Long about if paramedics and first responders there did enough on the scene to help Tyre Nichols. Listen.
Why is a police officer telling you to put your patient in the recovery position?
My advanced EMT stepped off, and I was going to maneuver to the other side and get an officer to help me lift him up.
And just today, about 4 or 5 character witnesses testified about the former officer's character as people. One witness, for example, said Officer Tadarius Bean was a humble guy and one of his favorite trainees, even though prosecutors questioned their character that night. Now, court just wrapped for the day, but coming up here all new at 6, you'll hear more from the courtroom. We're live in downtown Memphis. I'm Jerry Askin, Action News 5.
All right, and be sure to stay with Action News 5 here on the air and online for the very latest developments.
Just a recap. On January 7th, 2023, Tyre Nichols, a 29-year-old Israelite man, was fatally injured by 5 black Israelite police officers in Memphis, Tennessee. He expired 3 days later. The officers, all members of the Memphis Police Department unit, Scorpion unit, pulled Nichols from his car. Let me bump this up a little bit. Pulled Nichols from his car before pepper spraying and tasering him. Nichols broke free and ran towards his mother's house, which was less than a mile away. The officers caught up with Nichols near the house, where they punched, kicked, and pepper sprayed him and struck him with a baton. Medics on the scene failed to administer care for 16 minutes after arriving. Nichols was admitted to the hospital in critical condition. Mrs. O says, now they're saying he was drunk. Straight BS. I totally agree. What in the hell does his consumption of alcohol has to do with him getting beaten to deletion? Just another way to devalue him, degrade him, defame him. In order to tilt the scales, to try to fabricate, manufacture a justifiable reason for his demise. So now we got the mother coming to the stand. She's going to testify. Testify. Let's check it out. Let's see what's going on with this. Let's see. That was. Let me take care of the video. Owner responsibilities. WEREG News Channel 3. All right.
First at 5 on your news leader, the mother of Tyre Nichols testifying for the first time about the beating death of her son, allegedly at the hands of former Memphis police officers. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Gripping testimony today from Rovon Wells as she saw her son's injuries for the first time. All of this playing out at the Criminal Justice Center as the first day of trial got underway today for Darius Bean, Justin Smith, and Demetrius Haley. WREG's April Thompson is live at the courthouse covering the case. April, is Tyre's mother still on the stand?
2 years after her son's death, Rovon Wells.
Well, Stephanie, Greg, they came back from a break and Rovon Wells was finished testifying. No one had any other questions for her, and the judge decided they would call it a wrap for today. But what Rovon Wells said showed the emotion involved in this case. Tyre's mother talked about how police told her her son was being aggressive, and they asked if he was a drinker. She says none of it added up and sounded like Tyre. Then, when she finally saw him in the hospital, she was stunned.
I walked into the room and I saw my son. I immediately went over to him and I fell out on him because my son was beaten to a pulp. His head was the size of a watermelon. His nose was broken. His neck was split open from the swelling. He was bruised from head to toe. It was like they beat the out of him. That's what they did. They beat the out of my son and left him for dead.
Rovon Wells there on the stand for less than an hour as she was questioned by prosecutors. Defense attorneys, none of them had any questions for her. And the judge said because of the lateness of the hour, they would go ahead and call it a wrap for today. So he let the jury go and court ended because they say the next witness that they plan to call tomorrow morning will be someone who will be on the stand for a very long time. No word exactly who that is, but we're hearing it may be one of the other officers testifying against these three. Of course, we will be here in court with the very latest to bring you right here live. Reporting live for your news leader in downtown Memphis, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
All right.
Now, as I'm starting to remember this story, Tyre was dating and seeing one of the officers' ex-girlfriend. And one of the issue was you left a police officer for a skateboarder. That was what was in the headlines or that was a soft sentiment that was being expressed at that time. So, I haven't seen, now that we are revisiting this case, I haven't seen that language come back up as of yet. But we will closely monitor that and what have you. So yeah, it was a not for Tyree, but for the officer and officers that supported the officer. But the officer that had a problem with Tyree, his pride was hurt. A ding-dong measuring contest, that's what that was. While it says, so to say he was acting out of order was a reason for them to do what they did to him. Obviously, I'm my bad, I'm using the word obviously, because obviously it's not obvious. That the type of and he's deleted now, right? So the type of beating that he endured did not justify the behaviors that he exhibited. At no time did I hear that he was in the offensive. So we'll stay on top of this story since it's now in court. I want this to say that it happened in 2023, and here it is 2025. And let's go back to it. Yeah, January 7th, 2023. So we're going to what's this? May 5th, about to be May 5th, about to, a couple days, be May 7th. 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years. And we just now getting to the court. The wheels of justice move very slowly in some cases, depending on who and what it is. Now we got some shenanigans going on. A little, check out this dude's clip. Some BS going on in Detroit. Another reason why your kids is coming up missing. Let me handle the owner of this right quick. ABC Channel 7.
City of Detroit indefinitely shutting down a strip club accused of allowing minors inside the business for a party, some of them as young as 14 years old. 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham spoke to a woman who caught her nieces and nephews there and prompted action.
This gentleman's club has been stripped of its ability to do business. It's accused of allowing minors inside. And the no-nonsense auntie who blew the whistle says the adults who let them in should be ashamed of themselves.
We didn't care to get their business shut down. We didn't care to do anything. We wanted our kids out of there. Instead of letting us get our minors, they treated us real disrespectful, shoot us off the property. So that's what actually warranted us calling the police.
It all went down Saturday night. Tania and her sister called Detroit police on the Sting Gentlemen's Club, concerned about her niece and nephews.
When we walked in, it was a lady, it was literally a dancer on the pole. Bro, y'all, I'm at the Sting. I'm at the Sting.
This is from her Facebook Live. As she explained to me, she says her niece and nephews were supposed to be at an age-appropriate party in Southfield where they were dropped off. but their phone's locations came up at this strip club in Detroit.
We were on the app. We were watching them, following their locations. We did what we were supposed to do. We did the footwork. It was so many kids running out of here, and I'm pretty sure their parents never even knew that they were here.
In this establishment for a birthday party.
Detroit Police Chief Todd Bettison said there were at least 20 other minors under the age of 21 present that night when police arrived. And as a result of Tania and her sister's call to authorities over the weekend, Wednesday, police shut the business down indefinitely.
Let me be clear. We will not tolerate this in the city of Detroit, not at this establishment or any other establishment. And so to party promoters or anybody, if you're going to have parties and entice our children into establishment and venues that are meant for adults, we will use every aspect of city government, the law department, the Wayne County prosecutor, etc., to shut you down.
They could have been drugged, trafficked, hit by a car, shot in the middle of a fight.
We really want to get your side of the story. I reached out to the manager of the establishment and left a message, and I messaged him on social media. So far, no response. You think this puts other establishments on notice?
This gonna definitely rattle and shake some feathers for sure.
If and when we hear from the establishment, we'll be sure to let you know what they have to say at WXYZ.com. Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
Hey guys, Dr.
Absolutely. Absolutely ridiculous. And this ain't the first time. This is just one situation that was detected because the parents was on top of they stuff to a degree. To a degree. To a degree. To a degree. I'm gonna bring it out in a minute. This is how our kids get caught up. Just like she brought out, they could have been trafficked, could have been drugged and trafficked, could have never been seen again. And working in strip clubs all over this nation. Or working in out of houses, you know what I'm saying, or made to work the streets. The Bible says that we should not be involved in reveling. What if we just follow the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High God? Situations like this will never occur. Situations like London will never occur. Thou shalt not hate your brother. Situations like Nicholas will not occur. If we was just humble down and follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, all of the perils that we endure as a people will vanish. The next topic in the queue, New York is crazy, man. So I've been subscribing to a lot of news outlets, a lot of news stations throughout the country to find content and stuff and what have you. And I tell you, hands down, New York is off the chain. They got something going on every day, something that's surreal every day. New York is off the chain. I purposely look for other places because I can basically base my entire show every weekend off of New York. Really, I can. It's incredible. It's absolutely bananas in New York. I would not want to. I don't know why they don't have the murder capital. Them folks up in there, that place is absolutely a romper room. We about to get into a story that's gonna blow your mind. I'm not even gonna give you a heads up on it. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Let me take care of the ownership of this here. NBC New York.
Police have arrested a man wanted for allegedly raping a fellow subway passenger. His arrest coming on the same day Governor Hochul officially promised billions of dollars in funding to improve subway safety. Here's News 4's Chris Jose.
The NYPD says the suspect on camera sniffing his fingers sexually assaulted a man on a northbound 1 train early Saturday morning. Officers arresting Mohammed Azim today.
Mohammed, what happened? What happened on the train? Huh? What happened on the train? You got me, G.
Police say Azim made sexual remarks and demanded money from a 27-year-old passenger. As the train approached the Christopher Street subway station in Greenwich Village, cops say he forced the victim to perform a lewd act.
Why were you sniffing your fingers?
The arrest taking place while Governor Kathy Hochul announced $68 billion over the next 5 years for the New York City subway system.
I don't want anyone to feel that sense of anxiety. That's what I've been fighting.
The governor confirmed a new plan expanding involuntary removal of those deemed mentally ill and a danger to themselves and others. The homeless also part of the plan.
We're going to put in some welcome centers, let people have a place to go to, get warmed up, take care of them, and then be persuasive in saying, now, we have a better option for you.
The newly approved state budget includes $77 million for 300 officers on overnight trains and 750 officers on platforms and in stations. The governor says the surge of cops underground is reducing crime and riders are noticing.
I feel it's safe. However, there are some times where you see someone acting not right.
The MTA touting cameras that led to an arrest at last week's deadly stabbing at the City Hall subway station. A camera also helping police track down Azim, who continued to speak to reporters as he was led away in handcuffs.
We're not dead.
Azim is charged with rape, sex abuse, and forcible touching. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital after that attack.
Wow. And he walking away sniffing his fingers. What the hell? I don't even have a comment for that. I don't even know what to say on that one. I don't know what to say on that one. We got another news report on that. We're gonna jump right on. Walking away, sniffing your fingers. Let me take care of the video ownership of this right quick. And we have PIX11 News. PIX11 News.
A disturbing act on the 1 train has police asking for your help. We want you to take a second and look at your screen. Police say the man on your screen is wanted in connection to raping another man on the northbound 1 train. This happened this past Saturday at 4 o'clock in the morning. Police say this guy demanded money from a 27-year-old man sitting on the train after making some sexual comments. Then, investigators say, while the train approached the Christopher Street subway station, the suspect forced the victim to perform a lewd act, then got off the train. According to the NYPD crime stats, overall transit crime citywide is up by 25% compared to the same time last year. At the start of the year, Governor Hochul pledged to increase the presence of the NYPD on subways, including placing 2 officers on each train. Now, the NYPD is asking if you know who this man is, call police or your local precinct.
Like the comedian said, the comedian Earthquake said on one of his shows, he said, now they're raping families now. They SAing families. I can't understand how someone can make you perform a lewd act. And then he walk away sniffing his fingers. That's hey fellas, remember when you was in your younger years and what have you, and you made jokes to one another, you know what I'm saying, after, you know, either you did or you lied that you did, and you like, you know, smell my fingers and what have you, you know. I don't even know. I don't know what to say on that one. That's absolutely weird, strange. So that's what they doing. You gotta watch your 6, literally. In New York and any place else, because I mean, if it's going down there, it's going down in other places as well. You know what I'm saying? It was one entertainer who got into a internet beef with somebody and said that they'll SA them, and they'll SA them. He called himself I don't even want to say the name. You know what I'm saying? Something with juice. I'll say that much. That was the name of the entertainer. Something that is related to juice. And he got into a internet beef with somebody or what have you, and he said he'll SA that person. So you got these people out here, these weirdos out here that's ready to bring what goes on inside and bring that activity out here. So watch your 6. Well, hey, it's time for everybody to wear steel drawers with padlocks. We got, so now we're gonna go into what's next on the, what's the name here? That's absolutely crazy. What we got up in here? Mrs. O says, this is the evil world we live in. Fleece Johnsons are everywhere. I like you and I want you. Either we gonna do this the easy way or the hard way. And either way, after the fact, I'm gonna smell my fingers. We got finger sniffers on the loose, folks. Get your CPLs. NYC, you need to get off your high horse with blocking people that want to legally carry. For real. You got enough people up in there that illegally carry. So let's balance the scales out, because now we got finger sniffers lurking. You know. I can imagine mentally coming back from that. I can't imagine mentally coming back from that. That's something that I'll have to hunt this dude down. That'll be my number one job every day, all day. Let's go on to the next subject. Mom, boyfriend accused of deleting toddler 2 days after CPS sent him home. Here we go again. CPS fails again. But before we get into it, let me take care of the video ownership. WXYZ. TV. Channel 7.
Tonight, the 7 investigators reveal yet another heartbreaking tragedy that's raising serious questions over how Children's Protective Services is doing its job.
The latest case comes after a Detroit woman sounded the alarm to CPS after her nephew began showing signs of abuse. So how did the 2-year-old end up back in harm's way only weeks later?
Here's 7 investigator Ross Jones.
Standing up to believe that I did the right thing is causing me to be uncomfortable with my own family. But he had no voice, and who will speak for him if I don't?
The deck was stacked against Cassius Lofton from the day he was born. The Flint toddler, known as Cass, was diagnosed with Down syndrome and was developmentally delayed. At almost 3 years old, he was just learning how to walk.
Hey, come on. There you go.
And he could not speak.
Full of energy, ball of joy, but he got mad. He'd let you know because he was nonverbal. So he would cry or scream or whatnot.
So when bruises started to appear all over Cass's body last year, family members feared the worst, and he couldn't tell them where they came from.
I received pictures of him with belt buckle marks on one side and a long scar down the other side. He had 2 black eyes and bruises all over his back.
Brenda Wellens-Watson is Cass's aunt and lives here in Detroit. After seeing the photos of her nephew's injuries, she did not wait to do something about them. She shared them with Children's Protective Services.
He is nonverbal. He cannot even say ouch.
It did not take a lot of soul searching. All it took was for me to see a 2-year-old with black eyes and bruises all over him.
Brenda contacted CPS on July 20th, sending photos like this one telling the caseworker 2 black eyes. Flint police investigated 2, confirming Cass's injuries. CPS would take Cass away from his mother.
I'm just looking. I'm like, what's wrong with his face?
Patricia Carradine is Cass's godmother. That's who he stayed with after CPS intervened. Patricia and other family members say they asked Cass's mom, Tierra Wellens, where he got all those injuries, and say they received different answers.
It was his white blood cells. He had an allergic reaction.
I kind of got the story that roughhousing, this, that, and other. Bump here, 2 black eyes.
And did you make anything of the fact that she was telling 2 different reasons?
Oh, I knew she was lying. I knew she was lying.
Cass would stay with his godmother Patricia for the next month, until a day in August when she received a phone call from a CPS caseworker telling her it was time to return Cass to his mom.
She sent me a text message. It was something about the case. They wanted to close it or dismiss it or whatever. We also need Cass to return home by 2 p.m.
It is not clear what steps CPS took to determine that it was safe for Cass to return to his mom. Within minutes of learning he would be returned, his aunt began calling and texting the same caseworker she'd alerted to Cass's injuries in the first place.
I was battling with them not to return him. I had sent them text messages back and forth and photographs, and I had even gone so far as to reach out to Lansing to keep him from being returned.
Text messages we reviewed showed that Brenda raised concern that Cass might be beaten inside the home. But the caseworker responded she could no longer talk to Brenda about the case. So she started sending emails to anyone she could at the State Department overseeing CPS.
And it came back saying that someone would get back with me within 48 hours. And by the time she called me back, I told her I didn't need her help anymore because Cassius was dead.
2 days after CPS ordered that Cass be returned to his mother, Flint police would be called to this apartment complex where Cass was found in his bed, covered in injuries and not breathing.
People of the state of Michigan versus Tierra Wellens.
His mother and her boyfriend Dion Johnson would be charged with his murder. Hours before his death, according to court testimony, a CPS caseworker reported visiting Cass's home and checking on him.
What injuries did you observe?
I observed bruising to both sides of his face and also bruising to the right rib cage.
I don't think nobody meant for him to be hurt, especially my daughter. That's totally out of character for her.
Cass suffered multiple fractured ribs and contusions on multiple organs. His death was ruled a homicide caused by blunt force injuries of the abdomen. Both his mother and her boyfriend have pleaded not guilty.
An agency that we entrust to help us to protect our children failed to do their job. You've done a lot of these stories, and at one point, does someone stand up and say, enough is enough?
Citing privacy laws, the Department of Health and Human Services declined to tell us how CPS decided it was safe to return Cass home, but said they are deeply committed to ensuring the health and safety of all children and will work with law enforcement to ensure all responsible parties are held accountable. They would not tell us the status of the CPS employees involved in this case. Attorneys for Tierra Wellens and Dion Johnson maintain their client's innocence, and they say they look forward to their days in court.
Complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. It's too many people who are in these positions just for a paycheck. They do more to a man in a domestic, in DV. Guaranteed if this was an Edomite baby, that child would have never been brought back to that situation. Bruises and black eyes and stuff and what have you. And then put back in that same situation. What baffles me also is that, communication to take the child back to the mother and stuff is done over text. There's no formal letters or nothing formally done. You know what I'm saying? That's a little strange as well. I mean, what is CPS for? The same philosophy that Trump is using with Elon Musk and going over developing a department to go over the other departments to make sure that it's efficient and everything. The same thing needs to be done in Michigan. There's some other states that are adopting that. Are adopting that. Department of Governmental Efficiency, I believe that's what it is. So there are I believe it's 6 or 7 states that are adopting that idea, implementing that. Michigan needs to do that as well, and CPS needs to be near the top of the list. It's too many cases. We just had a situation in Pontiac. Where a mother left her children over a span of 2 or 3, 4 years. I believe it was 4 years. Children living by themselves in filth. And she will DoorDash them a care package, a very slim care package at that, on a weekly basis. And she lived 5 minutes away, 5 miles away. It is too many calloused individuals in these positions. The type of things that these people deal with are too sensitive. They need to be evaluated on a very frequent basis. I propose quarterly. They need to have their cases audited on a quarterly basis. Mrs. O said they protect the mothers and the monster men they allow to do this to their children. Well, I say they would have had token care of that child. I hope the workers get charged. And that's what needs to start happening. That these workers need to get charged with a form of neglect. That's real sad. What in the hell is CPS for? They're not protecting any children. They pushing paper, collecting a check. That's one department that needs to be overhauled nationwide, because this is not only happening in Michigan, this is everywhere. Okay, our last subject up for the lineup this evening, which is gonna be our candidate, our inductee for Snatch Shenanigans this week. We're gonna go ahead and pull this up. Even though the story we just went over also qualifies. But we're gonna go ahead and use this one for Snatch Shenanigans. Let me take care of the ownership of this right quick. ABC. Local News 10. I think that covers it. All right, let's check it out.
Sentencing day for a former nurse convicted in the death of her 7-year-old adopted daughter, Gina Emanuel, learning she will spend the rest of her life behind bars. Local 10's Leanne Morajon is live outside the courtroom with more. Leanne.
Life in prison was the mandatory sentence for Gina Emanuel's first-degree murder conviction. Her defense signaling today they plan to appeal.
I wish you well in hell.
Strong words from Ayanna Gordon, the oldest of 3 sisters, abused at the hands of their adoptive mother, Gina Emanuel.
I meant what I said.
Emanuel, now a convicted killer, sat quietly as she heard the sentence from the judge.
Life in prison for the first-degree murder. The sentence is the only lawful and just sentence in this case.
Emanuel was found guilty earlier this month of murder and child abuse. Emanuel was arrested in 2019 for abusing and torturing her adopted daughters, aged 5, 7, and 12, and causing one of their deaths.
She knew what she did. She's guilty and she knew what she did.
Ayanna Gordon testified to some of that abuse during the trial. Today at sentencing, she spoke to her adoptive mother directly.
You called yourself a tough cookie. I am too a tough cookie. Tougher than you could think.
Middle sister Samaya, who was 7, came down with pneumonia but was not given medical care. The medical examiner said she died from the sustained abuse.
It really hurt, and I wish that I could have been there a lot sooner.
Ayanna's grandfather had his own thoughts to share.
I forgive you for what you did. However, I can't forget. I wish I can inflict the pain that you did to my grandkids every day. I wish I could beat you within an inch of your life every day.
Emanuel declined to make any statement at all prior to the sentencing.
I took it as an insult, and that makes me more angrier than anything, to whereas, I wish I could, put my hands around her throat.
As for Ayanna, she is looking forward to a bright future, she says, which includes prom on Friday, graduation in June, and starting college to study business administration. We're live in Miami. I'm Leanne Morejon, Local 10 News.
I knew if you.
Hey guys.
Sentencing day for a former nurse convicted in the death of her 7-year-old adopted daughter, Gina Emanuel, learning she will.
Gina Emanuel. I'm glad you're getting life. You took one, you need to have yours taken as well. Unfortunately, you're going to be able to breathe and not have fluid on your lungs. I hope you catch pneumonia where you at. And do exactly what you did with your daughter. So you are this week's snatch shenanigan. Let's check it out. We got our number one home girl in the house. Take Heed is in the house. What's going on, Take Heed? What's happening? Take Heed. What's going on, Take Heed? Glad you was able to pop in on us and check us out for a hot second. All praises to you. Appreciate you. Let's give Miss Heed. Let's Take Heed. Let's give her a cheers in the air horn. Yeah. Take Heed in the house. She blesses us with her presence. Thank you for showing up tonight. Also, the Harrises, they got their show that started at 8:15 tonight. So, unfortunately, we don't like to express this, but I'm not going to express it at all. So they're on right now as well. So check them out. They started at 8:15 tonight, so they may still be on. Check them out. Okay. Pop back and forth, if you will. Okay. So the notifications were not on for our subscribers again. So, yep. So subscribers, you know, as far as Surreal Sundays, we tried to put at the past couple of weeks since I found out how to post when the show is going to broadcast and what have you. So it's in the feed and what have you, but also you know, check your notifications, make sure they're still on. Check your notifications with everyone that you are subscribed with. Do that several times throughout the week so whoever you will subscribe with, you get your notifications so you can plug into what you want to see. All right. And if we're one of those channels that you want to see, please check that notification. So when Mrs. O go live or when Surreal Sundays go live, you are notified and you can plug in. All right. So what's next is this week's Tidbit in Health. But before we get into that, Mrs. O got something to say to us in regards to what I just expressed. But Mrs. O, go ahead and do your thing.
Shalom, family. This is Mrs. O. Thank you for joining our channel. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you would like to support our channel, you can do so by scanning the QR codes to the Cash App or the PayPal in the lower left corner. We would greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the show.
All right, so like, share, and subscribe. Are you sharing this content? I can't tell. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Instagram. Share it on TikTok. Share it on X. Share it. Help promote this channel for us. It's free of charge to you. It costs you nothing. All it is a couple of clicks, boom, and you're done with it. All right. Like, okay, help the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Comment, help the algorithm. Be a part of this. Be a part of the discussion. I would love to have a dialogue with you so we can go back and forth and share ideas. That would be wonderful. I would love that. Help enhance the discussion and the show, okay? So next we're going to go into this week's tidbit in health. Let me get it queued up for you. And let's get it. Before I do so, let me take care of the ownership. One moment. Video ownership. Dr. Bird. D to the motherfucking C. All right. Here we go.
If someone were to truly, objectively evaluate turmeric, okay, I don't think there's one condition, one health problem that you couldn't find some benefit from taking this right here. It's amazing. I've been growing turmeric for the last 9 months, and I finally harvested it, and my wife and I are eating it. We're just chewing it. It's like an aromatic carrot. It's not very strong, but boy, does this have some serious potent properties. But first, let me talk about how to increase the bioavailability of turmeric. Now, anytime you take turmeric in a supplement, I highly recommend you don't take it in the curcumin extract only. You want the whole plant, because curcumin is only one of many, and I'm talking about thousands of different phytonutrients in turmeric. So if you get something that says curcumin extract, also make sure it comes with the turmeric powder. Or you could just, like I said before, chew the whole thing. Number 2, black pepper or white pepper will help you increase the absorption by roughly 2,000%. The white pepper actually increases the absorption a little bit better, but they're both pretty similar. Now, what you could do if you're going to take a supplement or just consume this, you can just take a black peppercorn or a white peppercorn and just swallow it. That will help. And thirdly, add some fat at the same time you're consuming it. The question is why? Because a lot of these phytonutrients, including curcumin, are fat soluble. So in order to better absorb them, you need some fat. You can do ghee, you can do butter, MCT oil, coconut oil, olive oil, any of the fats, just a little bit. Now, the other thing to know is that these phytonutrients are a bit heat sensitive. So if you're going to put them in your foods, chances are they're not going to be as potent. The other point is, if you get a supplement with turmeric or the curcumin extract, make sure you get the one that's freeze-dried, because freeze-dried allows for these enzymes to be activated. So they're in a state that's dormant, but they're not overly processed or heated. So let's just do a deep dive into what this stuff actually can do for your body. Out of all the plants, I would imagine that turmeric is right at the very top as far as the number of studies that were done on this. I'm talking about double-blinded, placebo-controlled studies on all sorts of things. The 2 big areas of research for turmeric are number 1, inflammation, and number 2, cancer. And the amazing thing about turmeric is that it has virtually no side effects. There's been no deaths, no serious side effects, maybe some slight digestive problems if you have too much. But even at high doses, there's no major serious side effects like there are with medications. And they've compared a lot of different medications to turmeric, and turmeric keeps up with these medication effects. Okay, so let's start with antioxidant potential. It increases glutathione. It increases other antioxidant networks in your body by actually increasing your ability to activate these antioxidants. There are certain genes that turn on or turn off your antioxidants. And turmeric has the ability to turn them on to help fight off free radical damage that's involved with oxidation and inflammation. Turmeric also has potent effects for your brain and nervous system. It's been tested to show significant improvements in Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, other neurodegenerative disorders. It's also been shown to decrease the formation of plaquing in the brain. It has very potent cardiovascular effects. and helping lowering blood pressure, decreasing lipids, helps slowing down the formation of plaquing in arterial sclerosis and clogged arteries. It also
So I'm going to cut in right here in the middle of the video for copyright precautions. Okay, so turmeric helps with plaquing, helps with your heart, plaquing of the brain, things of that nature. It's best to take the turmeric as a fresh root, what have you, and not so much as a processed supplement. And that's how we should get all of our nutrients, through raw vegetables, raw from the raw plants itself, not through the processed powders or the pills. They're convenient, what have you, but keep in mind that it is processed. Things are taken out and added that they do not necessarily put on the label, because these are not regulated by the FDA. Not saying that the FDA do their job into what is the perceived entirety. However, they even supplements have even more leeway than FDA, than any medications or anything that's under the supervision of the FDA. So it's best to learn about these different foods and learn what benefits you can get from them, and take them as they come out of the earth, not processed. Okay, so that's all we're gonna do out of this video, so we don't get any copyright strikes on this. It's about 8 minutes long. You can look at this if you want to look at the video to its entirety. Is on Dr. Eric Berg, DC. Turmeric is good for virtually everything. That's the title. Okay, that is the title. Also, black pepper is good for blood pressure. I read up on that. Black pepper is good for blood pressure. So up your black pepper, okay? Not only is it good for blood pressure, but it tastes good. So get with that. Next up in the lineup, we have, let me go over to this screen right quick, so I can go over to that screen and not have get that queued up and get that ready for you. The hot video, we got a new one for you tonight. Let's check it out. Let's see what's going on with it. The title of the video is Juiced Up by Young Lions, featuring Paul the Disciple. And before we get into it, let me take care of the video ownership. Okay, the ownership is taken care of, so let's get into the video. Hope you enjoy. Let's go.
Ain't about to waste no time. We gon' praise the Most High.
Dance all night to this. Put away your pride with this. We gon' praise the Most High with this. Cheers gon' ride to this. Dance all night to this. Put away your pride with this. We gon' praise the Most High with this. Cheers gon' ride to this. Now move, 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 move. Just move, smooth, 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 smooth.
Too smooth on a new moon. Vibe with you real, vibe with you Jews. Juice step, go ahead and vibe to it. You on a mission, go ahead and ride to it. You and I T while we on a Jew vibe. Doing my shoe step, got a juice slide. Ain't tryna dance, the slide to the side. Going juice step, find your vibe. Praise the Most High, dance all night. Use your talents, shine your light. Strong in the Lord and the power of His might. Just move to the left or move to the right. Just
dance all night to this. Put away your pride with this. We gon' praise the Most High with this. Cheers gon' ride to this. Dance all night to this. Put away your pride with this. We gon' praise the Most High with this. Cheers gon' ride to this. Now move, 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 move. Just move, smooth, 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 smooth.
Hey, unfortunately, man, I don't see your name on the list, so I won't be able to let you in.
About to kill him tonight.
Your name's
Shalom,
on
my
the list.
most high
I can't let you in.
About to kill him tonight, my guy.
No, hold on, brother. Hold on. Where you going? Step back over here, brother. Where you going?
What's going on, my guy?
Where you going, man?
I'm trying to get into school,
Trying
man.
to get in. What's your name?
I'm trying to get in for the new moon, my guy.
Okay.
New moons. You see it in the sky? Look how clear it is.
The moons.
You see the boots?
The boots.
Boots and moons go together, bro. Juice step time, baby. Let's go.
Brother, stop that. Brother, hey, what's your name, first of all?
What you mean, bro?
What's your name?
I set my travel request up, bro.
I'm saying travel request?
Yeah.
What school you from?
I'm trying to get into this school. That's the school I'm from.
Nah, brother.
Hey, y'all brothers trying to get in?
Yes,
I'm trying to get out.
Hold on, man.
But I'm just trying to get in before them.
Did you send your travel request?
I don't know nothing about that. Inside.
No, I can't let you in.
Over here?
Go on the back of the line.
What?
Go on the back of the line for me. Yeah, right there. All the way back there.
Brother,
keep walking. Keep walking.
And I'm loving the way that you juice step. Everybody get in line, do your juice step. It's a whole different vibe from the two-step. The fifth book of Moses, we the best. And I'm loving the way that you juice step. Everybody get in line, do your juice step. It's a whole different vibe from the two-step. Hey, 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 juice step.
Now move, 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 move. Just move, smooth, 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 smooth. We gon' move, 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 move. We just move, smooth, smooth. Hey, 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 juice step. Purging my sins with the Bible. I'm in control how my life go. And following the trends of the white folk. This my time and I'm gonna fly away. Fly away. On the right track, I got the right away. Yeah, yeah. Juice step, way more different than the two-step. Juice step, way more different than the two-step. Dance all night to this. Put away your pride with this. We gon' praise the Most High with this. Cheers gon' ride to this. Dance all night to this. Put away your pride with this. We gon' praise the Most High with this. Cheers gon' ride to this. Now move, 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 move. Just move, smooth, 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 smooth.
Yeah, man, y'all not on the list. Y'all not on the list, man. Brothers, y'all not.
Come on, man. That's time.
Captain Simmons, get inside.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's get in here. Let's get in here.
Hey, what you doing?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Let me in, man. New moon. It's all right. I just stepped you by myself, man. Hold on. I know it's something like this, right? Two-step, juice-step, baby. Let's go. All right.
move to the right. Now move to the left.
Ooh. Juice up. That's hot. It's very refreshing that we are producing and creating and producing music other than what they give us out here on the radio and on our Apple Music and on our Google Music and stuff like that, and our Spotify. There's actual righteous music that we can listen to. There's groovy, you know, it's catchy, you know, and everything. It got the same elements that the other music got in regards to beat and feeling and how it makes you and get you hype, get you going, you know. But it ain't got all that BS in it. So all praises for that thing. All praises for original royalty recordings. All praises to the brothers and sisters that produce music for us, the nation of Israel. All right. So you know what time it is. Time for us to go ahead and shut this thing down. So we got some stuff that's still trickling out with the twins and what have you. So hopefully they don't have anything to actually substantially say that this was a murder-suicide. I believe that these young men were being sneaky and ended up in a place that they should not have been. That's what I believe. Either they never had intentions going to Boston, or they detoured. They plans was to detour 90 miles south, then get to Boston. Being that there's dates on the airline tickets, I think that they might have been up to something 90 miles south of their home and really never had intentions going to Boston, and something else happened. We went over Ty Nicholas. They starting the trials on that, going through all the witnesses, going all the testimonies and everything. So I hope them officers get what they deserve. And being that they're Israelites, it's a good chance that they will. If they were Edomites, you know how it typically plays out. But I think these brothers are going down. We have Shar Pendergrass. She finally was arraigned, and on the 7th, her proceedings will begin on her not being truthful with law enforcement and what have you, and the charges that pertain to that. So with that, I'm sure that once she sees that she's not going to come out of this unscathed, there may be a confession and a plea. We might come to the end of, we might finally get a conclusion to this story within the next week or so. So far, she's been ride or die for her son. But once the prosecution gets her into a corner that the lawyer be like, okay, well, I can't get you out of this one. It's best to cooperate and cop a plea. Then we'll finally have who actually did the crime. She's still gonna get what she gonna get, but once she realizes that she can't get around it, she'll cop a plea, throw her son underneath the bus for a lesser charge. So let's hope that that plays out like that and we can get to the bottom of what happened to London. Men raping men, SA-ing men on the subway. That's vile. That's nasty. I don't know what to really say to that. All I can really say, especially in New York City, in places like New York City, New Jersey, California, places who are fighting and impeding on people's right to carry. You need to come off of that. You need to come off of that. So this homosexual spirit is just getting worse. You have homosexual celebrities throwing out threats that they'll SA someone. You have actual people on subways SAing people, then sniffing their fingers. We had a story up here, trying to find it right quick. The strip club. Kids at the strip club. So I wanted to bring this out right quick in regards to that. What would have prevented this occurrence? If the parents knew, respected, and did this particular law and taught their children, and they respected and did this particular law, the law of the Most High God, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, they would have never been in that situation and subjected to being trafficked. And otherwise. There's a myriad of things that can happen from this, especially, I mean, adults do enough. Just imagine kids with alcohol and drugs in their system. The inhibitions are down. They're subject to do a lot of immoral things. Let's start with this one right here. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. Let me get rid of this and get rid of that. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such alike, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do not such things shall not inherit the kingdom. If you were involved in said sins, which I just went over in verses Galatians 5:19, 20, and 21, those are sins. Those are laws that the Most High do not want you to go against. Revelings, that's partying. Look it up for yourself. Google it. Revelings in regards or in relation to the Bible. Use those key phrases and it'll tell you itself. Reveling Google got a AI component to it. It'll give you the information right then and there. Revelings. What if you just followed the law? I'm glad that the city was prompt with their response to that situation. And unfortunately, in this vile kingdom of America, these places legally can exist. But we don't have to choose to be part of those establishments. That's pretty much all I have to say on that subject. I just wish that folks would stop saying and believing, oh, you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, and you know, we have these revolving, floating definitions, and there's no standard on shit. So everybody do as thou wilt. But you see the situation that we're in. You see the circumstances that we subject ourselves to by having the do as thou wilt spirit. What if you just follow the law, statutes, and commandments? We'll be a whole lot better as a people and individually as well, micro and macro. This has been Surreal Sundays. I've been your host, Old School Exit 9. Thank you for dropping in. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to rock with us here tonight, and we love you and appreciate you for that thing. Also, please remember, you are your brother and sister's keeper. Don't create a situation for your brother and sister to sin. do your best not to be an example of sin. That's how you are your brother and sister's keeper. Help your brother and sister when you see them in sin. Talk to them to help them stop with that sin. You yourself work on your own sins. All right. So with that, we'll check you guys out next week. Be safe. Be prosperous. But most of all, be in the spirit. And we'll check you out next Sunday on Surreal Sundays. And with that, peace.
Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you feel for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in. It's your spirit warring with your flesh, trying to get the best of you. It's all in your head and in your mind. Can't let it mess with you. Trials and tribulation, that's every day. That's what we go through. Are you gonna face it? Stand up like a man. Tell me what you gonna do. No more complaining. Gotta walk blameless. Gotta be humble. You might not get famous. We go through changes. We go through phases. This my life story. Just flip the pages. Just keep enduring. Enduring, keep the law. Cause you don't want it call. You could've still been out here lost. Woke you up to the truth, so don't sleep on it at all. Try not to fall. Try hard to ball. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in.
I'm standing up, I'm standing tall, ain't laying down, cause I'm standing on it. Oppression make a grown man mad, make you cry, don't it? I pray to God that play so hard, so I'm calling on ya. I gotta endure until the end, I know they counting on me. Just got some bad news, damn, man, they killed my homie. Hit him 9 times, he never saw it coming. Remember the last time, I think I saw you, bruh. Gave you a flyer with the knowledge, you didn't want it, bruh. Damn. I'ma speak my mind, I'ma tell you the truth. It's hard on them, it's hard on us, it's hard on me, it's hard on you. I'm built for this, ain't equipped for this. Might get killed for this. I pray you repent before your time is up, your time
Can't
is
let your
spent.
guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in.